Regional trade, terror and security top priority issues as the SCO members meet in Kyrgyzstan. Prime Minister Modi meets with Russia's Vladimir Putin and China's Xi Jinping on the sidelines. A major step in India's efforts to become a space superpower. ISRO says India is planning to have a space station of its own to sustain its Gaganyaan space program. Doctors in West Bengal are on strike after a medical intern is assaulted by a patient's family. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee calls it an opposition conspiracy. She tells them to resume work or face action. Some respite for Gujarat. Cyclone Wion changes course. It's unlikely to make a landfall on the Gujarat coast, but the state government remains wary, says the situation is critical. No survivors among the 13 people on board the AN-32 aircraft that crashed last week. IAF recovers their bodies and a black box off the plane. The government reduces the rate of employers and employee contribution in ESI. This decision is likely to benefit more than 3 crore employees and 12 lakh employers in India. Good evening and welcome to India Watch. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. On this show, we bring you the biggest headlines from India, the latest updates, and of course, unbiased analysis. As the world watches India, it's important to set the right narrative. In the next 30 minutes, we're bringing you up to speed with India, and we're starting with the good news. India is now officially aiming to clinch the tag of a space superpower. India's space agency ISRO is dreaming big. It announced some of its major plans in New Delhi today, and here's the headliner. India's very own space station. That is the next big project ISRO is working on. Early days, so the details are few and far between, but the confirmation itself deserves applause. Let's tell you what we know at this point. The project will be conceptualized in the next 5 to 7 years. ISRO is looking at setting up a small module in space. The space station will be used to carry out microgravity experiments. Basically, Indian astronauts will study weightlessness. ISRO says the work will begin after the current projects are completed, including the Gaganyaan mission slated for 2022. That's India's first manned mission to space. Preparations for it are on track, and Gaganyaan will be a stepping stone for the space station. The government said that ISRO plans to launch the Gaganyaan mission on the eve of the 75th Independence Day of India.
On the eve of the 75th Independence anniversary of India in 2022, ISRO has resolved to send its first human mission into the space. It could be even before 2022 or close to that. Finalization of the 2 to 3 persons or the astronauts, the crew who would be going for the mission would happen within next 6 months. And then, of course, the training period extends from 1.5 to 2 years, depending upon a number of factors, which also include the individual biological and adaptation factors.
The blockbusters begin next month with Chandrayaan-2, that's India's moon mission. The second sojourn will explore the southern part of the moon. India will be the first country to do this, to land near the south pole of the moon. It will be the most complex mission ever undertaken by ISRO. The Chandrayaan-2 will carry 14 scientific payloads. This includes instruments that will help ISRO understand the moon's composition and seismic activities better. Beyond the space station and the moon mission, some other projects are also in the works, and this includes a mission to the sun. It's called Aditya L1. ISRO is planning this mission for 2020. The main aim of this mission will be to study the sun's corona that has a major impact on climate change on Earth. And that's not all. ISRO is planning a mission to Venus too, details of which will be announced in the next few years. So we're not leaving anything out, are we? Now, back on Earth, some things haven't changed. West Bengal remains in a state of turmoil. Amid a political war, a large number of junior doctors in the state have gone on strike. Here's what's happening in the state. Junior doctors launched a protest after an intern at a Kolkata hospital was allegedly assaulted. The intern was beaten up by the relatives of a patient who had died. The intern suffered a head injury and is now in a critical condition. This protest has crippled health services across the state. Junior doctors are demanding better scrutiny. and better security rather. Unable to handle the chaos, Mamata Banerjee has issued an ultimatum to them. In fact, the West Bengal Chief Minister gave a political colour to this protest. She now alleges that this agitation is part of a conspiracy by the BJP and the CPIM. Mamata Banerjee's comments have angered the junior doctors in the state. Some of them have resigned. Most of them have refused to call off their strike. They accused the West Bengal Chief Minister of threatening them. They chanted slogans in front of her when she visited a government hospital earlier today. And Mamata Banerjee then resorted to Facebook. She put up a new post and she said that outsiders were raising slogans against her. She claimed that political parties were protesting outside the hospital that she visited. Several medical services run by the state government have been hit. As a result, thousands of patients across West Bengal are suffering now. Some reports claim that more junior doctors have faced attacks in the state, and this agitation seems to be spreading. Doctors at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, or AIIMS, say that they will boycott work tomorrow, and they're doing this in support of the agitation in West Bengal. In fact, some doctors attended to patients in helmets and bandages to convey their support and convey a message. Meanwhile, the political tension has not abated. West Bengal has been witnessing post-poll violence, and the TMC and BJP workers have been clashing. Lives have been lost in the past few days. Wednesday's events forced the governor of the state, Tripathi, to intervene. He called the meeting of 4 major political parties at the Raj Bhavan. Apart from the BJP and the TMC, representatives of the CPIM and the Congress were also invited. The aim was to restore the situation, to take stock of what's happening there, to get all stakeholders on board and try to bring peace back to the state. This move comes days after the governor met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi. While the TMC agreed to attend, their differences with the governor are also well known. He was in fact the one to have stepped in before as well to restore law and order. This happened in 2017. He had spoken to Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee then after a riot had broken out in Baduria. But Mamata Banerjee had not taken it too well. She had accused the governor then of quote-unquote speaking like a BJP leader. Since then, the relationship between the governor and the state government has remained strained. And today, Mamata Banerjee claimed that the governor called this meeting at the behest of the BJP. She said that Governor Tripathi had also called her to take part in today's meeting, but she declined, saying that law and order was a state subject and not something for the governor to worry about. No concrete result came out of the Raj Bhavan as well. Politicians who attended blamed the other party for the situation. Now, this is a story that is laced with irony. Priyanka Gandhi has promised to punish non-performers in UP Congress. That is understandable given the drubbing that the party received in the Lok Sabha election. She was visibly upset. Listen to what she said in Rai Bareli yesterday.
सच्चाई कड़वी लगेगी, लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि ये चुनाव सोनिया गांधी ने और जनता ने जिताया है। सच्चाई ये है कि आप सब में से जिसने दिल से काम किया है उसकी जानकारी आपको है, और जिसने नहीं किया है उसकी जानकारी मैं करूंगी।
You saw the seriousness with which Priyanka Gandhi said whatever she did. Taking non-performers to task is the right thing to do, and we say charity begins at home. If non-performance can get you sacked from the Congress party, then action must begin from the top. Let's look at Rahul Gandhi's performance record, for instance. As Congress president, he has overseen a debacle of epic proportions. In 2014, When he wasn't party president, he led the campaign. The Congress suffered its worst ever electoral defeat. In 2019, Rahul Gandhi led both the party and its campaign. The result was another defeat, the Congress's second worst. Such is the non-performance record of Rahul Gandhi that will put any non-performing Congress worker to shame. Now let's look at Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's own performance. She did not contest an election, all right, but she was in charge of Eastern Uttar Pradesh. The Congress won a grand total of 1 seat in the state. Is she going to be held accountable? She could not even help the party president retain his seat in UP, a seat that the Congress has never lost. She was also a star campaigner for the party across India, but has nothing to show for it. Will Priyanka Gandhi face the action that she's talking about? Let's look at the successive defeats of the Congress under Rahul Gandhi. State elections, central elections, the Congress never blames him. They take quote-unquote collective responsibility. But the Gandhis are proving to be sore losers. Last month, remember, Rahul Gandhi accused 3 senior party leaders of favouring their sons, P. Chidambaram, Kamal Nath and Ashok Gehlot. They were publicly pulled up for not doing enough for the party to promote the interests of their sons. That is rich coming from Rahul Gandhi, whose only claim to fame when he entered politics was the fact that he was Rajiv Gandhi's son. And now his sister blames party workers for their defeat. Can you imagine the response of the Congress party to all this? You will not believe it. UP Congress workers want Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as their chief ministerial face.
मेरा ख्याल है कि ये मामला गांधी परिवार का अपना है कि राजनीति में किसको कहाँ कौन सा रोल अदा करना है, कौन सी भूमिका अदा करनी है, उस विवाद में पड़ने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
कल हमारी राष्ट्रीय महासचिव श्रीमती प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा जी ने अपने क्षेत्र के सभी लोकसभा क्षेत्र के लोगों को बुलाया था और एक स्वर से कार्यकर्ताओं ने कहा है कि आप हमारा नेतृत्व करते रहें और 2022 का चुनाव हम अकेले लड़े और 2022 में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार बननी चाहिए। ये जनभावना है, पूरे प्रदेश भर के एक एक कार्यकर्ता की जनभावना है और मैं समझता हूं कि उसका संज्ञान अवश्य लिया जाएगा।
These are senior Congress leaders from the state. One says it's an internal matter of the Gandhi family. The other calls it the voice of all workers. It's as if this party and its workers fail to open their eyes and realize that they live in 2019, not 1969. Congress party seems caught in a time warp and remains delusional about the abilities of the Gandhis. The party is decimated in the state. Senior leaders like Raj Babbar, even imports from other parties, literally everyone but Sonia Gandhi failed in Uttar Pradesh. The reason is that there is no Congress at the ground level. The grassroots is in a shambles. It's dysfunctional. The leaders are out of touch with people's needs. In fact, Congress and its workers should not even be flirting with the chief ministerial dream right now. As of today, the top parties in UP are the BJP, the BSP and the Samajwadi Party. Last we checked, the Congress did not get even 10% of the vote share in Uttar Pradesh. Perhaps Priyanka Gandhi Vadra could have listened to the party candidates. She held a review meeting with 38 candidates after all. Reports say they lost because of a frail organization, delay in ticket distribution, poor understanding of regional dynamics, weak communication and an outdated publicity plan. So the Congress must fix these problems before it can think about a chief ministerial candidate. Unsolicited advice. The government is making a fresh push to reach out to minorities. Union Minister for Minority Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has made some major announcements. First, he has said that all properties belonging to the All India Waqf Board will be geo-tagged. The government plans to build facilities like schools, colleges, hospitals, community centres and so on. They will all be centrally funded. This will be part of the program. The government wants to utilize Waqf properties across the country for empowerment and education of the needy. Now, Waqf, as you may know, means a property dedicated to the society. It is considered as a religious endowment in Islam. It is typically a building or a plot of land allocated for charitable or religious purposes for Muslims. More than 5 lakh registered Waqf properties will be geo-tagged and digitized for this effort. Earlier this week, the Minority Affairs Ministry had also made a pitch to mainstream India's madarsas. The plan is to train teachers in regular subjects like Hindi, English, math, science and computers. These subjects will then be taught in madrasas. Building modern infrastructure is also part of the plan. Modernizing madrasas was part of the BJP's election manifesto in 2014. In the budget, madrasas got a 100 crore rupee update. But questions have been raised about how much of this money reached the intended beneficiaries. In India, where 14 people out of 100 are Muslim, madrasas are a key and largely unregulated part of the education system. Some more benefits could be extended to the Muslim community. The centre is also planning to extend free coaching to Muslim girls to prepare for the UPSC, the banking and state services exams. This is in addition to a scholarship scheme for minority students. In the next 5 years, the central government plans to give scholarships to 5 crore minority students. 50% of this benefit will go to girl students. All these are measures, the latest attempts by the BJP government to gain the faith of the minority community, it seems. Now here's something that has affected lives of crores of Indians across the country. The ongoing water crisis has brought life to a standstill in several parts, from Tamil Nadu in the south to Maharashtra in the west and Rajasthan and Punjab in the north. There is simply not enough water. Reports say that 50% of villages in India are facing drought-like conditions. Some experts have even termed it a water emergency, but the government does not believe so, or some in the government. The Jal Shakti Minister, for one, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, thinks this is just media hype.
पंजाब में जो बांध हैं या उनसे ऊपर हिमाचल प्रदेश में जो बांध है वहाँ हमारे पास में आज भी सरप्लस वाटर है, जितना होना चाहिए था उससे ज़्यादा पानी है. तो ऐसा विषय में मुझे लगता है कि ये उतनी चिंता का विषय नहीं है जितनी बड़ी चिंता का विषय हमारे मीडिया के मित्र इसको बना रहे हैं.
Now we'll explain why the water crisis is not media hype. Last month, the Modi government announced a drought advisory to 6 states. A drought advisory is issued when the water level in the reservoir is 20% less than the average live water storage of the past 10 years. Or in simple words, it's a crisis warning. And this advisory came from the central government, of which the water minister is a part. Perhaps he should revise his media hype statement then. The fact is that every summer, the water levels in reservoirs drop. But the delay in the onset of monsoon has made things worse this time. Analysis shows that nearly 42% of India is abnormally dry this year. Last year, at the same time, it was 36%. Pre-monsoon rains have been poor. The rainfall deficiency from June 1st to June 9th is 45%. Let me explain my point further with some data from states. In Maharashtra, the government has deployed nearly 6,600 water tankers to meet just the drinking water needs of parched regions. This is more than thrice the number of tankers deployed last year. Till it started raining on the 3rd of June in the state, these tankers were the source of life for residents of more than 5,000 villages and 10,000 hamlets. As usual, the Marathwada region bore the brunt, but northern Maharashtra and western Maharashtra weren't spared either. The groundwater levels are pathetic. In thousands of villages, groundwater levels have been found to be 3 meters lower than average. Groundwater, remember, is needed for irrigation, so a drop in groundwater means Maharashtra's harvest is at risk. Besides water tankers, what did the Maharashtra government do, you may ask? The Fadnavis government sanctioned a proposal for cloud seeding. The effectiveness of cloud seeding, we can tell you, and such experiments has been dodgy since the time it was first started in 1983 in Tamil Nadu. And talking about Tamil Nadu, the state is facing an acute water crisis too. The AIDMK government in the state has sought more than 5,000 crore rupees from the centre to tackle the issue. 24 out of the 32 districts in the state have been affected by drought. The situation is dire. The Madras High Court has even asked the government to file an affidavit on the steps taken to provide water to the people of Chennai. Experts fear that the drought this year could be worse than the one in 2017. There is nearly 26% deficiency in the reservoirs. Agriculture is nearly 50% of the delta, nearly 50% of the delta region may be badly hurt. And listen to this. 2 days ago, firefighters had to protest. They had to protest for water to put out a fire in the capital city of Chennai. Every time the water crisis comes to the fore, there is an attempt at diversion. They use grand ideas like linking of national river waters. But governments fail to utilize rainwater. It often goes waste. Another idea is salt water desalination. The efficiency and scale of this idea needs to be correlated with the water needs of a country as large as India. It is not feasible. Next on the list is Rajasthan, struggling to gain access to drinkable water. More than 13,000 villages have no access to safe drinking water in the state. Groundwater levels are plummeting. People are at the mercy of water tankers. Residents in districts like Bhilwara are keeping their water containers locked. Have a look at these images on your screen. They say that water is more precious than gold and silver at the moment because the tankers come once in 10 days.
तो अब हमारे को पानी की बहुत समस्या है यहाँ। जैसे सोने चांदी को ताला लगाते हैं वैसे हम पानी को ताला लगा रहे हैं। पानी का ताला न लगावा तो हमारे पानी में दूसरा ले जावे।
रामपुरा ग्राम के अंदर पानी की बहुत भारी समस्या हो रही है। लोगों को 10 दिन में एक बार टैंकर मिलता है, वो भी ड्रम भरते हैं, उसको भी ताला लगा के रखते हैं। एक ड्रम को 10 दिन चलाना पड़ता है।
So we asked the minister, if this is not a water crisis, what is? Water is the most important commodity needed for survival after air. There is a shortage, an acute one, and the Jal Shakti minister should look for ways to tackle it. Ignoring a problem will not solve it. They say the world doesn't disappear if you close your eyes. And as we end, we can tell you that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is at the SCO summit, but he is getting endorsements from elsewhere. We're leaving you with these images. Thanks very much for watching.
Modi high to Mumkin high. Modi makes it possible.
Ache din anawali hai. Ache din zarur ayega.
Abhi ki bar, Trump, Sarkar.